Okay. Is that better? Good morning, guys. Hopefully I'm in the right one this time. I clicked on it. I'm not sure why. It took me to created a different live than the one that I had scheduled. Make sure you're tight. There we go. All right, now let's try. There we go. Now when I look at my screen, it looks like I'm live. For some reason, YouTube started a new live when I clicked on when I clicked on the button before. So I'm going to go in really quick and just delete that. But I was on a different live for a while. So welcome to the correct one. If you're here, you're in the right place. See, okay, so I posted the good morning here on this live. And then I went live on it. And then all of a sudden, I found myself on a totally different live stream, which is why so when you see me moving the mouse around over here, I am always double checking to make sure that I'm live on my computer. And I have that up in front of me so that I know, you know, so that I can see if anything is happening to the live stream. So the only tech issue we have today, right? So happy Valentine's Day to anyone who celebrated yesterday. I know it's a popular holiday. We don't really celebrate it around here. I've always said that, you cannot use a Hallmark holiday to show love and affection just one day out of the year. It has to be every day of the year. And so we go out if we feel like it, but we don't really make a big deal of it. So I put these out on top of my desk before we started because I keep forgetting to put them in, and then I end up having to tuck them in wherever they fit. So I'm going to do this first thing. You're going to get this put in so that we don't write anything in that spot. The week numbers on the plans by Just Scribble are just a little bit tiny for me. So let's look at a week. See how tiny that is. That's just a little too small for me. I like it to be a little bit more pronounced. Not a problem because I have these super cute little washi stickers and they're washi paper, so they won't bulk up too much. But this week we are planning the week 8, which is Monday the 16th to Sunday the 22nd. And this is the week of Lunar New Year. So I'm going to do things a little bit differently in that I got this kit, right? The washi or the sticker kit from the Coffee Monsters Co. for the Lunar New Year. So we have these large Lunar New Year doodles. We have the Year of the Horse extra bits. And then we have the 2-page Year of the Horse Hobonichi kit. So this is designed to fit the Hobonichi cousin, which is very similar in sizing to the plans by Just Scribble. So we're going to use this as part of our decor. Now, I have also gotten out, because I do this every year. I love having the Lunar New Year and I love having all these little kits. So I also have extra um, Hobonichi cousin kit from 2023. So 2023 was the year, I forget now, it was right before the dragon. So let's see. It was the year of the rabbit. And So we have got 2023 kit here. And the reason that I had to look it up is because there's nothing on this kit that says rabbit, right? I used all the rabbit things. So very much in the same way, I will use all of the horse things from this particular kit. And then anything that I have left over will be something that I can use from year to year. So I do have these from previous years, and then I also have large doodles from 2024. This was the year of the dragon. That's how I knew, that it was the dragon year. Um, but dragons are a popular theme for Lunar New Year every year. Oh, good morning, Kisha. Happy anniversary. It's I'm glad you're joining me. I hope you've got some good anniversary celebrations waiting later today. Um, but yeah, we have these large Lunar New Year doodles from 2024, and I can pull these forward. And then we've got some sticky notes as extras, and then I have just some more of the full boxes. So I have a lot of stickers that I can use for um, this particular week, and they're all going to be themed the same. This is just the Lunar New Year extra bits. Before she started, and same with the full boxes, this was before she started labeling these extra stickers with the year of the horse. So the difference between the extra bits here is really only this box here. And so instead of having a lantern and saying lucky, it's got a little horseshoe and saying lucky. Again, that doesn't necessarily have to be for the horse. It could be it could work for anything. It could be any day that you're feeling lucky. So these I will keep off to the side, and I'm going to keep this one off to the side as well, just to make sure that I have them. And then I have, of course, some Year of the Horse vinyls here. And so we may use one of those, maybe more in this, but we'll see how it goes. Now, I also have this Year of this washi that has all of the different years. So we have all of the little uh, Lunar New Year or Chinese zodiac symbols. Oh, excellent. Fun lengthy combos are always good. I was just saying we don't celebrate Valentine's Day for that same reason. Um, we just enjoy each other's company um, without too much fanfare. But yeah, this washi is absolutely adorable. It's got like little mandarin oranges on it in the details here. Um, it has little Chinese coins, all sorts of things in the symbols or the lucky bamboo. So all the little lucky characters that help make it a special time of year. So we're going to do things a bit different. I've also got a kind of weird week because I don't work on Monday. So I'm only working 3 days in the week or 4 days in the week. My boss is out of town this week. So there's a lot of interesting um, things going on. Um, So I'm trying to think. I would like the horse to show up on Tuesday because Tuesday is Lunar New Year and the horse is not until here. So I'm thinking if I do this, then then the snake and the horse will show up perfect. Okay. So I want the snake to show up on Monday and the horse to show up on Tuesday or overnight. So let's do that. I'm gonna put this down. say that, and then it's not really going to work, is it? So I'm going to move this over just a little. And we're just going to put another sticker there. Because the other thing I could do is I could just cut off a bunch of washi tape and save it for later. But I don't want to do that if I don't have to. So we will cut it right there, and then we're going to come over here and put in right here. So just overnight there, we are turning to the year of the horse. That seems to work out just fine. We're going to scoot it over just a little bit more. And I'm going to cut it off right after the chicken rooster. So this is the year of the rooster that's coming up. So we just get to see all of the symbols there, and we get back to the dog here. It's the only one that's missing. But I think that's going to be cute. And then I'm just going to put a little sticker in there. So let's see what we can, what if we grab one of these lanterns and just put that right on this edge. Just like that. Now you'll never even know that I didn't have enough washi tape. You're going to do that, the spread this week as well. Excellent. In the duo, that's always adventurous because that means you have that extra page, which, you know, I've had some fun ideas for the extra page, but it always throws me for a loop to have it. It surprises me every time I look at it. I don't know why. I know it's there. But if for some reason it just surprises me a lot. The other washi that I have on hand here is this washi here, and this is also a Lunar New Year washi, but it's part of her Galaxy series. And so if you were just to look at this on the surface, it looks like just a plain regular washi. However, there are these little Chinese coins in the clouds, in with the foiling, and then little Chinese characters that are, you know, Lunar New Year blessings, things like that. So it does have in the tiny details, it becomes a Lunar New Year washi, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not. I haven't really decided yet. So we're going to put that aside, and I'm going to start with just my categories down here. I'm going to be very boring this week in terms of, and actually, I have all these cute boxes. Let's, instead of using the Tombows for this, let's use some cute boxes. So I'm thinking I'm going to use these 4, but I'm also going to look and see if I have them elsewhere. Nope. That is the only place I have those. So let's go ahead and use them. And the margins are a little bit different on this book than the Hobonichi Cousin. So it does look a little bit different. But everything does fit just fine in here. Use the horizontal for personal development and workouts. Excellent. And then family and work. That's definitely I know that if I had it, I would come up with a way to use it. Because the more I play in that flow planner, the the Rosy Life Flow, I'm going to say that 1,000 times just so I get it right and don't misname it again. But as much as when I experiment with the Rosy Life Flow planner, I do notice that I am finding new and creative ways to use it. And there is that thing where perhaps I could um, figure out how to incorporate the YouTube um, into that as well instead of having the YouTube planner be separate. And that would be nice. So I'm not ruling it out for next year. Um, it is always a possibility. For me, the main deal breaker with it this year, by the way, um, is the same main deal breaker that I have with the Rosy Life Flow, and that is that it is a full year planner. And I just don't like carrying around that much bulk. My planners bulk up a lot because I put a lot of ephemera in them, and I don't want to carry something that gets really heavy by the second half of the year for me. And so I don't want to carry that. So for me, a hybrid planner would have to be a half year hybrid planner in order for me to really decide to use it as my main planner. So as it is, this book that yeah, I thought about using it that way, but I want to showcase different things and I don't want to keep feeling like I'm writing if I start using it as the YouTube planner, then I'll write it the same way over and over again because I really don't know of a different way to write all of that. Right now, it is so useful the way it is. And so I am just kind of leaving that alone and being happy with it the way it is. Um, the other thing is, where does all of that messiness go that I use the YouTube planner for on the dailies and things like that, and the monthlies? It is just kind of nice to have that as a separate entity. Now, if YouTube were ever to become my job, and then I didn't need to have work things and personal things and YouTube things, um, then that would be a little bit different. But for right now, it feels like that would be a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this little horse and we're going to put him right there. Because I think I want to use the colored horse on my phone. So I have a clear phone case and I always put whatever, a vinyl for whatever year it is on the back of my phone inside that clear case. Um, so you like the full year then. I think that the full year makes a lot of sense and I get why they do it that way. For me, it's just too much to carry around. Um, right now this is starting to feel bulky. And then I do things like, okay, so you're going to see this on Tuesday. I got some new washi tape. And so I have all of these little pullouts here. I created this little spread about getting the Happy Mail packages in the mail. And so, I mean, that kind of thing just bulks things up a lot. Um, and I don't know, because this is a vinyl, so it's got a very slick, in terms of coloring the sticker. I don't know if you can. It's a vinyl, it's got a very slick background to it. So you can barely see through. And then it's got some really cute little detailing that I think would get lost if you tried to color it. Oh yeah, this one or this one. Um, these are all, it was just fun to have these come in. Um, I didn't make this spread on camera. I made this spread after the fact because I swatched the washies and then I noticed that the roll had two labels on it, and I was like, I'm just gonna swatch it in here as well. And so I did do that. And then I have my little lucky sticker again, and this is a very thick sticker as well, but lucky for Friday the 13th because I always consider those to be lucky days. Um, so we have got that. And I want to say, so there's this little chart here. I could use this for sleep. Because I have this one from before. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't usually like these little trackers as much, but we're going to go ahead and we are going to use it because again, we like to use what we have. So I'm going to put 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And this is going to be our sleep tracker. Now, the next thing I'm actually going to put in is the weather, just so I have that. Your family nickname is Lucky. Oh, that's awesome. That is fantastic. I love it. Yeah, I have some clovers with the Lucky in the vinyl, but I'm saving those for St. Patrick's Day. So I use this one here instead, just so that I don't have to buy new stuff or don't feel as tempted, I guess, to buy new stuff. It's actually going to get really nice here this week, during the week, as is par for the course. And then we're going to get into the upper 60s and even touch into the 70s. And then by the time we're all off work on the weekend, it's going to be cold again because the weather hates me. So, you know. So here we go. Wednesday, we're up to 73 for a high, and then 42 is a low. So we still got some low lows. And then Thursday, 71. And then Friday, just when I'm starting to think about the fact that I don't have to work it again, the next day, we go right down to the 40s. 48. I swear the weather hates me. I have written proof of it throughout years and years and years of planners of it being nice all week when I have to work. And then as soon as I don't have to work, then it's cold. So, it's not just a paranoid thing. I have written proof. At least it's going to be dry all week. It rained all day yesterday because, of course, I was off of work. So it was cold and rainy all day yesterday. And so, uh, the weather just be like that sometimes, I guess. It just does that thing. So, uh, is what it is. We are going to use these cute little stickers right after. Because these are adorable. They have the the clouds, the little bow buns, and then the little Chinese coins. I'm going to use these just for these for the during the week days. I know that there are 7 of them, but I'm going to save 2 and use them elsewhere. Yeah, I am happy that it's getting dark a little bit later as well. That is always nice. There we go. With the weekend in, and that says lucky as well, right there. Let's see. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to write in the days that I have to work. And I am just going to write them with the small end here. All right. And I'm going to put in here that I do have a meeting on this day. It's You're using a sticker kit on the vertical. Yay! That's excellent. What is the daily pocket, not needing that as well with the duo. That is awesome. I love trying new things, not to say that it's bad to have multiple things. I think that's great. If you like having 2 planners, again, that's something that I'm trying this year as well, if it makes sense for you. But it's always nice to try new things, no matter what your status quo is. It's nice to kind of break out of that mold for a little bit. So there we go. We have got our work week. That is all I'm putting for work. I will write in my hours on those days. I usually also record them or have been recording them here on my habit tracker. So I have work hours over here, and then I just kind of add them up for the week and see how I'm doing for that week. Am I hitting close to, am I going over? I tend to go over a little bit on my work hours, and then, but I want to make sure that I have a tendency to overwork myself, and I want to make sure that I'm not doing that, you know, so. So we've got that. So now let's take this other washi. Do I want to do that? I do. I love it. It's so pretty. So I'm going to use it because it makes me happy. It doesn't necessarily match, but that's all right. It's celebratory and it makes me happy. And that's the most important thing, right? Your planner is supposed to make you happy. So I'm actually going to pull this over even with down here because I did give a little extra space down there. And then I will put it here as well. So we actually have quite a bit going on this week. So doing it this way is going to give me a lot of space for all that stuff. Um, so I'm going to put in some boxes, I think. First, I'm going to put in a box here. For actual Lunar New Year. We're going to give it a little bit of room. So these margins are just slightly different than the Hobonichi cousin, but not enough to make enough of a difference that it bothers me. Just that I'm going to be a little fiddly with my my kit there. So I'm going to write in. I have this Archer and Olive pen. If I remember tomorrow when once this has processed, I will add a card for the unboxing of this. But I got these two pens from Archer and Olive. I got this one and the silver, this silver one that are metallic. So they're kind of the day and night. And since Lunar New Year has all of this gold detailing, we are just going to write here in cursive, Lunar New Year. Just to add a little bit of pop and sparkle to the page. Then trying to think of what I want to put next. I know I have a couple things to do on Friday morning. Since you're here, you know exactly what those things are that I have to do on Friday morning. So I'm going to put just a little to-do sticker over here and make sure that those are part of Friday morning. I'm going to add, got a yellow dot marker, so I will just add a couple dots here. And we can look back at how we need to film the check-in. So film YouTube check-in. And update Patreon. I am not a morning person, and so I really need these little checklists here on in the morning on Friday to make sure that I do both of these before I leave, because I have left the house and gotten to work and realized that I forgot to update Patreon, and then I got to open all my personal stuff at work and just update that really quick. It only takes a couple minutes. It's not really a big deal, but I don't like doing that at work. I like to work at work and do YouTube here at home. And so, you know, it just, it's one of those things that feels a little bit weird to me, to not have it done. So that will hopefully encourage me to have it done. I'm going to write in, I just realized I forgot to write my headings here. Posting, reading, watching, and eating. So we've got those. What else have we got this week? We're going to look at our February. I'm going to throw this in just in case. So, goodness, we have got quite the series of goings on this week. So we will start over here with, I have a day off. I have a day off. Yeah, you're not a morning person either, except for going to bed in the morning. Yep. I just got scolded for doing that same thing. I tried so hard to get tired and sleepy last night, and it just was not happening. And I ended up getting to bed around I want to say 4, right around 4 in the morning. Um, so yeah, it was not a good night. On the weekends, I try to make sure that I am getting more sleep, and I just seem to have more and more trouble with it. So I have these little day off stickers. So I'm going to go ahead and use that because I have Monday off, and this day is, I have it off because it's President's Day. I have never had President's Day off as an adult, but I do tomorrow. This is it's a first for me. So I think that they were looking for a holiday that fell kind of in this part of the year, just to give people an extra day off, because most of the time, when you work for somebody, you are, let's see, we get our day off um, on New Year's, and then oftentimes we don't get another day off until Memorial Day. And then the second half of the year is so heavy with the days off, and this first half of the year is always so sparse. So usually it's just those 2 days. And so I think they were looking for an extra day in the middle there. And so they did um, President's Day. So it gives you a little something to look forward to in the middle of the deep darkness of February. But anyhow, it's good that I see, I've smudged a little bit here. It's good that I keep throwing this in here, because at least I've smudged onto here and not onto the page. I do have a little streak going through the page. I'm not even sure where that came from. I'm sure I did something at some point. So we have President's Day that day. What else do we have going on? That would be kind of an all-day thing. Anything else? There's a new moon, obviously, on Lunar New Year. We know that. And then we have a birthday on the 20th. So this is also going to be if I put in one of these, just like that. And I do still have a little balloon sticker. I just did March, the March monthly. So I have a little balloon sticker left, because I only have 2 March birthdays that I had to put in on the monthly. That'll come up on Thursday, that video of this week. So this is the March monthly. We will note that this is Corey's birthday. Now, I think I want to put in another washi. So what do I want to put in here in the middle? You know what? Maybe we put in these little faces instead of getting out another separate washi tape. We will put, or is this long enough to go visually across? Ooh, that's an idea. Because if this is long enough to go visually across, then we can just do, I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to put these across here. So just these little emoji faces. All the way across. Kisha, how's your spread coming in your duo? You doing good? We are, there we go. Interesting. There's one extra. There's 8 of those. Do I want to continue it over here? Right now, I'm going to say no. We are not. That might change. So let's see, what do we have in terms of our boxes here? We're going to use some more boxes. And I think I'm going to use this little winky girl. So far, so good. You're adding the tasks and no before the pen. Yeah, the before the pen is a nice picture to have. I get that. Go ahead and put this right here. This is date night. So we got this little girl with the winky fan. That seems appropriate for date night. And then I'm going to use this with the dragon. Again, this is from this year, and it has the dragon on it, and that's because the dragon is just a very popular symbol. Whether it's the year of the dragon or not, the dragon brings prosperity. They do the dragon dances, all of that kind of thing, and so it's just a very, very popular symbology. And I'm going to put in that this is the St. Louis Art Museum. They call it the Slam here. Lunar New Year. So they are doing some traditional dances, things like that. So this is at 4:30 p.m. So a couple things. Let's put in this one and this one for my phone calls. I usually don't go this sticker heavy, but this week we're going to use all the stickers everywhere. We're going to have all kinds of fun with it. This is call with my friend Kim, and my call with my friend Dana. And let's look back again. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Okay. I noticed the little spinny wheel. Uh, so, oh, you're a dragon girl from Mushu from Milan. I love that dragon. You know, he is just a riot. Um, so, yep, definitely. The dragon is just fitting for Lunar New Year. So again, I start with trying to use the boxes that don't really fit with anything else. So, you know, these boxes are kind of generic. I could get away with using these with anything, right? It doesn't have to be Lunar New Year related. And same with everything else on the page. The only thing that's still Lunar New Year related is this right here. And so once that is off the page, I will probably just take everything else and put it into my little sticker sheet book, and then I'll be able to mark this one as done, which I always like having one of my pages be completed. Let's see if there's anything else that really has to go with the year of the horse on these. I think I'm good on these. Let's see. So we have got supposed to get we've got book club. So let's use this one for book club. Book club already. Is it really? 3, 4. Yeah, it is. Wow. Okay. So we will write, we have the Seattle book club. I have the book coming today. It is supposed to arrive sometime today. And that is at 2 p.m. All right, so now everything else on here is going to be able to easily be used on any other day. So I'm going to actually set this sheet aside so that I'm not tempted to use that all up. We are going to put in some extra. I'm going to put in this lantern here. Going to put in some lanterns just for fun. Put in the little Lunar New Year goodies over here. Because I really don't have any other like major things on these days. I don't know about what's going to happen on the weekend. I'm not really sure yet, so I'm not going to worry too much about that just yet. This space here. I'm going to take some of these little clouds and I've got even more of them. So we will get them in here. And I don't want it to be too symmetrical, but I think I've gone and done that. I love all the little symbology that's included. It just gives a great reason to decorate the page and have all of these little, symbols all over the place. Um, so that is just something I really love about having these particular spreads. Now, I could do that with other spreads as well and have all the symbols as well. For other spreads, but I just, for some reason, Lunar New Year just hits a little bit differently for that, and I just love it. I love having it all. Um, okay, so I'm going to put a couple extras around the actual day itself to give special luck to that day, right? Um, all right. For right now, I think, oh, let's see. Let's put that little bow bun in there. All right. So we are filling up quite nicely. Now I do have on this day, I am supposed to get a package. How do I want to mark that I'm supposed to get a package? What if we just put this right in here? That's kind of cute. There we go. I want to make sure that I check the mailbox for this. Because apparently they delivered my subscription. They say they delivered it, and I never got it from the end of last year. And so it is included with this, and I want to make sure that I absolutely get it. So, yep, we've got fortune cookies, we've got horseshoes, we've got, of course, the little mandarin oranges and the red envelopes and the coins and bow buns. All of those are considered auspicious symbols. I'm going to save these and I'll use them on that day. So on Tuesday, um, I'll try and use up the rest of this sheet on that day. And then maybe I will put on Tuesday, I'll put this right here at the head of the page across the top. Um, so I usually like to write a manifestation note on Lunar New Year because I think it's a good day to kind of manifest something. And so it's a good day to set intentions. And so I like to use the daily page for that. But what else do we have? Oh, that's right, we have got and let's do this one right here for an Amazon payment. So I'm going to get my first ever Amazon payment on Tuesday, which feels really incredible and kind of surreal that they're paying me instead of the other way around because I do a lot of paying them. Uh, so it's nice that they're finally going to send some money in my direction. Um, but this is directly from the affiliate links that I have in the descriptions here. So if you ever purchase anything from any of the affiliate links in the descriptions, I do get a small commission. And so my very first Amazon payment is going to be $14.55. And that is for the entire time from is it August until January. And so, but I am super excited for that. That is, I finally hit that $10 threshold that to get over that little hump and actually get a payment. So that is super cool. I'm very excited. Yep, exactly. The ink recommendations helped definitely. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That helped to bump it over the top. So let's see. Lots of stuff going on Tuesday. Actually, I think these are both going on over here. Ah, I'm going to be sad. I'm going to move those. Yikes. Fortunately, this one's just a sticker. That is super easy. We'll just move that. And this one, I'm going to move the sticker over here. And I will white out what I just wrote. Goodness. Got all excited, but the Amazon payment is happening on Wednesday. So if I put it on Tuesday and I'm looking for it all day, it'll drive me nuts to be looking for it all day. All right. I am not still in the Vine program. That got a little overwhelming for me. And so I paused it voluntarily. And we will see if I may reinstate it at some point, but I have paused it for the time being. It was just a little, got to be a little too much. Once I started working, I noticed I was getting really behind on the reviews and such. And I want to make sure that I'm giving very detailed and thorough reviews. I think that's part of agreeing to do that program is to make sure that you're reviewing things thoughtfully. So, yeah, I'll save it for when I end up having more time to write some more reviews. All right. Now, have we got everything in? So we have all of that, all of that, all of that, and that. It is Thinking Day on Sunday, next Sunday. Is Thinking Day. These are those cute little extra holidays. I found out that I had forgotten to put in a few. So I went through last night when I was doing March. So we have planned March. Ooh, little sneak peek there. But I realized that I had forgotten to put in my kind of wacky holidays. So we have Tater Tot Day was over on the 2nd, Lame Duck Day, Thinking Day, and Tooth Fairy Day. So that should be fun. So we do have Thinking Day over here. I think that's silly, but that's what the wacky holidays are for, right? They're supposed to be silly. Otherwise, they would be normal holidays. So I'm wondering, do I have a little... oh, here we go. I have this little helmet here. This came from a subscription. And as I was saying Thinking Day, I was remembering I have these right here that say thinking and have the little helmet. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of those. And we are going to go ahead and stick that over here on Thinking Day. Just for kicks. Because, why not celebrate the fun, right? So this is Thinking Day. There we go. All right. I want to put in a little line. One of the reasons that I don't use these stickers very often is because there's really no line. You can faintly, if you put an intense light on, you can faintly see the lines underneath. But I'm just going to at least put in the goal, which is that 8 o'clock or 8 hours, not 8 o'clock of sleep. We're going to get that in there. And then I think we are going to call this good for now. For this particular spread, I do want to check just very quick on the Google Calendar and see if I have anything that I've added to the Google Calendar, and then I will do my Ellister and we will be good to go. Oh, you've got yours done? Yay! Excellent. Did it turn out good? You used a sticker kit for the first time. Did you like it? Do you like the way it looks? I like a sticker kit every once in a while. I just, I worry that if I use it too often, it's gonna be, first of all, things are gonna be too bulky. And this is also very, very busy looking, right? And so I don't have a lot going on this week, but it still looks very, very busy because of all the different stickers everywhere. And I know a lot of people like that, and I don't have, if anybody likes it, that's great. Some people are probably looking at this and going, that's not nearly enough stickers. I put stickers from start to finish, because there are some people that do that put stickers from start to finish all the way through. I have just not ever been one of those. And so for me, this is a lot of stickers. This is very sticker heavy for me. And so, I'm always interested to kind of see how it works and how it lays out, but I think it is super cute. I'm very, very happy with the way it laid out. And so I would like to go ahead and get my Alistair list ready. We got to have the task list ready, right? So I think I'm going to do it all in yellow. Interestingly, yellow is my least favorite color. And I have so many things in my life that have shown up in yellow. When I found my first house, we looked and looked and looked forever, and the house that we found that we liked the best, yellow. At one point, I planted some red tulips in front of the house, and they came up red the first year, and then the second year, they came up yellow. I looked all over the place for a low or a car that got really good gas mileage when I needed a new car back in 2015, 2014, and looked everywhere, all over the place, and decided I wanted a Fiat. And I had seen a Fiat locally. It was yellow. So I was like, oh no, I don't want that one. I will go and find a different color fiat. So I went and tried to purchase a different color, and the financing wouldn't work out. They couldn't make the numbers work. I couldn't get it, and I ended up having to go back and get the yellow one. Uh, so my car is yellow. So for my least favorite color, I have all the things in that particular color. Um, just fun little fact. So you only used a few stickers on the vertical and some transparent shapes on your horizontal, but as long as that works for you, that is great. And I mean, that for you, that is a step outside the box, and you're challenging yourself. I don't think there's anything small about that. I think that's a great start. So we have week 8 here. And this is February 16 to 22. And for anybody that hasn't watched that may be watching this later, I know, Kisha, you've seen the Ellister list. But for anybody who hasn't, I usually put an X here if it's completed, or I put an arrow if it is moved forward to the next week. And then these are the days of the week here. And if something has a due date, I will write that due date, even if it's not during this week. I'll write it here, just so that it's in my mind. And then I put the dates up here: 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. I do like goldenrod as well. Goldenrod is very pretty. You've had the yellow car thing too, so you know. It is my least favorite color, but I have just nicknamed my car my little minion, and we're running with the yellow theme because I can't seem to escape it. So trying to escape it is futile. We just embrace it. Um, so So that is my Alistair list. I'm going to really quick, while I've got it open, I'm going to look at last week and pull over anything that still needs to be done from last week. So this is how last week ended up. So as much as I fill things in and it looks kind of like I have a lot of blank spaces, I do add in quite a bit throughout the week. So, I have my little lucky for Friday the 13th. This was feeling a little empty, the space over here, so I just added a little candle in a jar sticker. I have added in just little notes about the day, things that I enjoyed throughout the day. These are not quotes. These are just little, um, I got myself some fudge stick cookies at the store, right? And a teeny tiny milk jug. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but they have a little itty bitty, it's like a quarter of a gallon milk jugs at this grocery store. And so I was super excited about that. Silly, but it was definitely nice to have. So I've added in quite a bit of things throughout the spread. Um, during the week. Now, Keisha, I know that you asked me to kind of maybe go through when I do add the things in. I am kind of all over the place. I do it all day. I don't have a regular time when I sit down. It's whenever I think of the thing. So I'm trying to figure out how I would do that in terms of a vlog style video. However, if you remember in my goals, one of my goals was to take a vlogging course in the first quarter of the year. And I looked at all of my courses. I did a whole assessment here. I have all these courses that I signed up for and then never did, right? Look at all these. I signed up and haven't completed all of these courses, right? This is 287 hours worth of courses. This is quite a few as well. And then I noticed on Teachable. So this is with Udemy. These are with Coursera. And some of them I started, but I maybe didn't finish. So I decided to write them all down. And then I went on to Teachable and noticed that I have Kara's behind the scenes guide to creating a vlog, and it is 10 modules. So I'm going to get those done in the first quarter of the year. And so that I have put that this week, so today, I am going to do lessons 1 and 2. They're not very long. I think it's about 10 minutes total of video time. So lesson 1 is the introduction and just how the course is going to go, and then lesson 2 is really the first course. So I will do that sometime today, and I'll get all 10 of those modules completed before the end of quarter 1 so that I can learn how to do one of those more vlog style videos. Yeah, Ali Abdul is awesome. I like him a lot. And then I love Kara and Nate because originally I was going to do all travel style videos. And so this is Kara of Kara and Nate. And I love the way their travel videos are. Now, this was created quite a few years ago, and their travel videos have evolved even more since then. So, yeah, it should be really interesting. I also had somebody say, or heard somebody say, that every single, I don't remember if it's every day or every week, you should film a close-up, medium, or close-up, wide, and point of view shot at your work, your home, and something that you do for fun. And that if you film those 9 shots I think it was every single week, you will build up this humongous library of B-roll. You used to do video graphics. Oh, that's excellent. How fun. The YouTube manager. That is excellent. I'm gonna have to pick your brain on that sometime. As of right now, I mean, I've been doing everything for the channel, but I haven't included graphics like those. Are you talking graphics that come up in the middle of the video? I have created, so I did that, the graphic that has the outline around the corners to make it look like it's within a camera. And it has the little record in with the little red flashing light in the corner. I did make that graphic. I did a class that had a tutorial on how to do that, and we went through making that. So I have that somewhere that I could place in my videos, but I haven't done that yet. Oh, you did all of that. Oh, fantastic. That is excellent. At some point, I would love to be able to hire somebody to do all of kind of the back end stuff, and so that I can do uh, the stuff that I'm really enjoying and still have videos that look really, really nice. Maybe somebody to take out all the ums and ahs. I mean, I know Adobe will do that, but there's one. It's hard uh, with doing planner content, because if you have Adobe take out the ums and ahs and the pauses, then, if I pause to write something in the planner, it's going to just cut that out. And that's a little bit too much. So I've got a couple work tasks. I need to review and select planners or planters with my boss, not planners, planters. I didn't get that done because she wasn't in the mood to tackle that this week. She had other things going on. I need to, for a different project, sketch rooftop ideas. We're looking at adding some amenities to a rooftop of one of the buildings. Yeah, I like the raw vibes too. I don't know that I want to edit that out. Um, I think that is part of the charm of the planner videos as well. So, and then I need to finalize the punch list. My job is starting to branch out into more projects than just the hotel. And I need to get from the architect the window submittal, the soffit detail, and the structural detail. Structural's working on a detail, but they're going to give it to the architect. So I need to pester the architect for those things. I need to I've got this RFI that I have to answer on sconce height. And I need to review the paver submittal with Amy. We need to look at colors. So I think that's everything from this week. I can mark this as done. I got in bed before midnight twice this week. For me, that is super good. So as much as I say that I'm really bad about sleeping, I am getting a little bit better. I got in bed for before midnight a couple times. But I think that is a good start. I suppose I should add the hypnosis and the in bed before midnight. Again, we are trying to remind ourselves to do these things. I, for a long while, had them in just in the front here, and it wasn't triggering me to remember to do anything because I don't add things here until the end of the day. So, oh, I know what I forgot. That in here, and I am going to get my little check boxes. I need to add some check boxes for here, here, and here. And I'm purposely putting those off center because I could take a lot of time to try and make those straight, but I'm not going to do that. And that is Planet Fitness. I have been going in the light up box, also known as the tanning box, but I'm not doing it for tanning. I'm doing it for a little bit of vitamin D. So I'm not in there long enough to get a tan. You can tell my arms are not tan at all. Uh, I'm not in there long enough for that, but I am in there. I do want to go 3 times a week again. So we'll make sure we've got that. And anything else that I need to remember? I have already read the meditations because we didn't have a chance to discuss this week. So I don't need to read again for next week. And I do need to post to Instagram. So put Instagram posts here. Instagram posts done, just so I have a record of it here. So I think that's everything that I need so far on my task list. I don't want the task list to get out of hand. I am going to try, oh, I need to change the windshield wipers on my car. Last night we were driving home and we went out for Indian food last night, just because I was having a massive craving for Indian food. And it rained, and I realized that my windshield wipers are awful. So I need to get those done. So anyway, that is my week. That is where we are this week. I think it turned out really cute. It's hard for it not to turn out cute when you're using such a cute sticker kit. But I really love the way it looks. I love that all the colors coordinate. And so even though these two washes don't necessarily coordinate with each other, they coordinate so well with all the other elements that she draws that it all kind of works together. Um, and so I think it turned out fantastic. Um, I was saying before that I think it's a little bit difficult to use these when you've got silver and gold and you've got colors that aren't necessarily coordinated. They don't matchy match. But again, I think it all works kind of cohesively. They're not right next to each other, so they're all kind of part of that same cohesive whole. So hopefully you guys enjoyed hanging out with me, and I will talk to you next week. See you soon. Have a great anniversary, Kisha. Happy anniversary. Bye.